Haven't played WoW.
Wow! I can't believe it. Who am I even talking to right now?
I'm sorry.
Chat, help me out on this one. Where was the first time you saw Onyxia, like through the story chain? Not that spoiler alert, by the way, for those of you who haven't played this, you know, 11-year-old game or whatever it is.
If you haven't played it, you're a bit late.
My bad, spoilers. But yeah, the first time you see Onyxia, it's not actually in dragon form. I'm pretty sure.
In human form.
It's
like I know the lore fairly well.
I think it is Violet Teacher.
Oh,
it's not actually Violet Teacher, but I'm just. I can believe, can't I?
Okay, so turn 1, Druid throws down a Zombie Chow. Not bad because it can contest the tokens of Shaman very well, but Shaman has a good answer, which is the Power Mace.
Yeah, this is sort of a list that I was experimenting with. It looks like that Fezar's playing. It's just Power Mace is basically just it's dedicated to value. You're not really trying to get gigantic swing turns from Power Mace. It's that you have efficient mechs in your deck because you basically want to play them anyway. Stuff like Harvest Golem and Piloted Shredder are likely just going to find their way into this list. And then something like Power Mace is going to help enhance those minions as you go along. So this is just like a card that this deck needed, was something that can get you tempo and get you value at the same time.
You know what's really curious to me, though, about the Shaman's hand right now? It's that when normal Shaman players, they put Power Mace into their decks, they tend to cut other 3-mana creatures like Feral Spirits. And now we see both Power Mace and Feral Spirits in the Shaman's hand, so the Shaman definitely really loaded on turn 3.
Yeah, I think, I actually, this is one of the lists that I had just again most success with. Is turn 4, you're so often consumed by like Rockbiter, Lightning Bolt, or Earthshock or something like that, that it allows you to continue to play 3-drops and just keep trying to get tempo out of them.
Yeah, that's really fair.
Yeah.
That does sound, if you play like that many 3-drops and that many 1-drops, it sounds to me that you probably tend to have problems with card draw down the future. Do you think we'll see a lot of card draw minions in the Shaman from now on?
I definitely think it's possible. I had Azure Drakes in that list, and something else I was running was Bloodlust, because you would just very often get 3 or 4 pretty much useless minions on the board by the end of the game between your totems and how heavily you were fighting for the board, and Bloodlust was just providing you the reach that you needed to be able to finish people.
Okay, so Sludge Welcher comes down to contest the Piloted Shredder, but unfortunately, Frezar has a really good answer to that.
He has a couple really good answers to this too. I mean, this is actually a difficult turn to navigate because he's got so many different ways to attack this.
If he chooses to Rockbiter now, he actually has a choice to buff the Piloted Shredder now, or buff the Pilot Shredder that he could play in addition. But I like this play better. Haunted Creeper and a Totem. Yep. It just sets up Flame Tongue Totem a lot better in the future.
Yeah, this is also a spot where you really don't mind getting swiped at all. Like swipe, he's getting a totem and he's getting a 6/4 body out of it, but Frezar's going to end up with a lot more board presence. So a play like this and just having the silence of a Piloted Shredder that just attacked is like not the best feeling in the world.
Oh, certainly not.
So getting Keeper or Silence there, I think really good stuff. And I'd be shocked if Fire Elemental was not played this turn.
Oh yeah, Fire Elemental is just a strong 6/5 body. And Druid just typically they have a hard time dealing with really strong bodies. That's why, again, we were talking about Guardian of Kings before. Druid is one of those classes that does have a hard time dealing with Guardian of Kings.
You know, I said I'd be shocked, but something else to consider is if he ends up attacking into this Keeper of the Grove with this 4/3, and he rolled something like a Healing Totem, he'd be in such good shape right now. Because the other thing too is when he leaves this 4/1 up, he's really putting a lot of pressure on Kalento's ability to play a 7-cost minion in a spot like this. Like if he plays Dr. Boom, Fire Elemental plus the 4/1 silenced body is going to kill the 7/7 part of it. If he plays Ancient of Lore, the Haunted Creeper and the 4/1 body are going to contest it. This is putting a lot of pressure just on the variables of plays he can have. And something like a 5-drop, Frezar's got an answer to that. He's got Flame Tongue Totem and he's got Fire Elemental. This is a really heads-up play.
Definitely. Fortunately for Kalento, he does draw the Dr. Boom, so that's always going to be an option for him going into turn 7. Frezar has Flame Tongue Totems set up for this current turn, but they wouldn't have done that well against the 1/1 Boom bots that the Dr. Boom is summoned. Kalento does go for, I would say, the more conservative play. I guess slightly better against Hex. I'm not even sure.
I think this is a lot better.
Mhm.
And I think the reason is just because he's maintaining a big board presence. Like he's doing as much as he can to fight for the board because he's not too concerned about his life total right now, so not a ton to worry about. This Piloted Shredder can sometimes backfire here, so this summon's pretty important. Fairy Dragon is certainly not a backfire though.
Oh yeah, very good. You can't even. What can you even do against the Fairy Dragon, right?
Well, Keeper of the Grove and Spell Power Swipes is about it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and now look at this board from Frezar. And what on earth does Kolento do to get out of this one?
Yeah, Frezar in the previous game, he was punished for not drawing Swipe, and Kolento, in the same token, he's also punished for not drawing Swipe in one of the earlier turns of the game, and this board is just kind of snowballed out of control.
Yeah, not a lot of good options here.
A lot of situational cards too, but just basically both the Savage Roar is just completely useless right now.
Something else to note, the one thing Kolento does have going for him is the position of this Flame Tongue Totem. It's not in a great spot right now for Frezar. I'm curious if there's anything he could have done to arrange this to be in a better spot. Like, could he have been more mindful of his position?
I was gonna say, I feel like when he played the Haunted Creeper, it might have been he might have placed it slightly more to the left, and if that happened, then the Haunted Creeper would actually be around where the Fairy Dragon is right now, or even to the left of the Fairy Dragon.
Yeah. So Fire Elemental, I said it would be shocked that if he didn't play it on that turn with the Keeper of the Grove, but I still am kind of shocked that he actually had an even better play than Fire Elemental when you really thought about it. But this turn, this turn I would truly be stunned if Fire Elemental didn't hit the board.
So what series of trades can he make it so he can deal with this board effectively? Again, the Flame Tongue could be in a better position. He could have gotten 2 buffs off with the Flame Tongue on the left.
Now, something I'm curious about is if he's going to put this Fire Elemental next to this Flame Tongue Totem. It's going to open him to Big Game Hunter if he does that. So I would suspect that this is pretty likely to go somewhere on the right side. Haunted Creepers get taken out. And this is actually a little bit of a... He can't actually play Fire Elemental unless the Boombot kills something here. So yeah, I got to play it as far away from that Flame Tongue as he can. He does not want to get Big Game Hunter and then the Healing Totem.
That's avoiding the Flame Tongue so much. It's like, oh, get away from me.
Maybe that was his intent, though, was actually to keep the Fire Elemental away from Flame Tongue.
Oh, yeah. I think definitely.
Yeah, definitely possible. And now this Flame Tongue Totem is lined up so that I can all his minions can trade down the line into anything big that Kolento has to play. It's like at this point, this is the point in the game where Shaman wants to be, where it's seized complete control of the board, and your opponent basically just has no hope of climbing out of it.
I think Flame Tongue, out of all the Shaman cards, is kind of like the definitive Shaman class card. It's like what gets you the most value out of... It has the potential for the most value, and it's a lot of what Shaman is based around: sticky minions, and minions that just combo very well with the Flame Tongue Totem.
Yep. Scenario's going to make two trees here. I'm not sure it's going to make too much of a difference. I would suspect he really wants that Fire Elemental next to the Flame Tongue right now.
Probably.
Yeah, I like that Kolento's taking out one of the wolves here too. And he has to open his shade to it, but the last thing he wants is both of these wolves to attack into these 2/2s and then have the Healing Totem pop him back up to out of swipe range.
If Frezar really, really wants to, he can eventually get this Fire Elemental next to the Flame Tongue Totem.
That sounds like a great play.
I do think... one problem with Frezar right now is that his hand is actually not that great for what it is. He can actually... He can almost play everything this turn, and after that, he'll be just drawing fairly dead because Shaman just tends to have a lot of low curving minions, especially since we've seen a lot of 3-drops coming from Frezar's deck.
I'm curious.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious how he's going to choose to approach this. Like, his totem this turn is like exceptionally interesting. Does he want to try to get another Spell Power Totem, or does he want a Taunt Totem or a 1/1 Totem more? So like, if he wants his Spell Power Totem again, he should attack with his Spell Power first, and if he doesn't want it again, he should roll a Totem right now, unless he has no intention of rolling a Totem.
Okay. Okay, so he just wants to get the the Fire Elemental on the board and deal some damage to the keeper. And now, before Druid, you said that he didn't feel that threatened, but I think he certainly feels threatened now with 2 Fire Elementals on board.
Yeah, did Frezar miss an attack with the Spellpower Totem?
Not really sure. He must have attacked face, right?
I think
he did attack.
Yeah, if he attacked face, but I think he missed the attack.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if it's consequential at all. I mean, just look, he's so far ahead in a position like this. It's like, how does he even, like, spell power swipe is one of the only ways that Kolento can actually get back into this game, I'm pretty sure.
And unfortunately, there's no Azure Drake in Frezar's hand, or we could be seeing like a huge comeback now.
Yeah.
Or rather, no Azure Drake in Kolento's hand.
No Azure Drake and no Blood Mage, and no swipe. He doesn't really have anything. Oh, he's just gonna have to heal himself too. Oh, this is ugly.
Yeah, I think Kolento is realizing he's in a lot of trouble right now, but he also realizes that his opponent is really low on cards right now. So if he plays like this, and Frezar doesn't draw any burns, then in the long game, just as we saw with Tice versus Savitz, he might be able just to win that long game.
Yeah, this roll, pretty important, by the way. He's going to need a 4 on one of these minions.
Mm-hmm. Why not? Go for it.
I think he may be trying to, bluff some sort of decision making.
I think he's actually just praying right now that he doesn't roll double 3s.
He's like, please no double 3s, anything but that. He's still got 13 damage to the face if he rolls 2 3s.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the worst spot in the world for him. But yeah, definitely wants to roll 2 4s instead.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, this Dami Chow is like almost kind of dead, right?
Yeah.
2 4s. Nice.
Yeah, he just needed 1. The second one is pretty inconsequential. There's no way he's ever attacking this Ancient Lore here. So this is going to be 12 damage to face.
Let's go. All right, and now what can Kolento draw? Is there anything he can draw now?
Swipe.
Swipe.
Azure Drake swipe.
I guess Azure Drake swipe, but I don't think swipe even does it.
Shade next round certainly isn't going to do it. Yeah, because he can't afford to hero power into the other Fire Elemental.
All right,
he could
so
draw. I can't think of anything.
Hunter.
Yeah, Big Game Hunter's not going to do it. So Frezar going to be able to take a deep breath and relax from this one. He's going to finally draw